Hello again, I'm back. I wanted to talk about something in my last video and I completely forgot about it, and I could probably edit them together, but I'm already uploading the one I just recorded into YouTube, so we're getting 2 videos today. I wanted to talk about the whole calories in, calories out deal, and I read this really interesting article about why that doesn't work for everyone, why that doesn't work for people who have been, long-term morbidly obese. And it was called The Fat Trap. And you can find that in, I'm looking it up right now just to see if I can re-find it so that when I am talking about it, I'm not making stuff up. The Fat Trap. NewYorkTimes.com. Just Google The Fat Trap New York Times and you should be able to find the article. And it's just really interesting, and it kind of explains why people who've been long-term kind of morbidly obese have a harder time losing weight, a harder time keeping the weight off. And it kind of explains why when I went to my, public seminar that I think everyone has to go to when you're getting ready for a weight loss surgery, why the surgeon said, if you're a morbidly obese person, it is almost completely impossible for you to lose and sustain weight loss. It's nearly impossible. But in this article, it's so interesting. It talks about how they did these tests on mice, and they always do tests on mice, and they found kind of a sweet spot in terms of where your body always wants to stay the same. It doesn't want any big changes. So if you're overweight, it wants to stay overweight, and if you're thin, it wants to stay where it's at. But with mice, they discovered that if they say made them obese and they were only overweight for say 5 months, then they didn't have that much trouble losing weight and getting back to a healthy weight. But if they were obese for 8 months, was like kind of the time, then they had a really hard time losing weight, and they had very, severe and significant biological and metabolic changes that made it so hard for them to lose and sustain any weight loss. And they have this study out of Colorado, and it's for people who have lost a significant amount of weight and have been able to maintain it, and they've, done muscle biopsies of the slow twitch muscles and stuff, and it just, when you've been morbidly obese for a long time and you're losing weight and you're in the process of losing weight, your body is trying and fighting to stay where it's at or regain to where it was. And it's just really interesting, and in some ways it's disheartening, but in others it's encouraging. I mean, it basically says you will forever, for the rest of your life, have to measure your food and think about food and how much you're eating and what you're eating. And you'll always have to exercise, and you'll always have to work hard to be healthy. But on the other hand, all those stalls, it tells me that I'm not wrong. It tells me that I'm not unique, and that I am not a damaged little snowflake, I guess you could say. But check it out. It's a really, really interesting article. I don't know the science behind it. They don't cite their sources on the website, at least, so I can't read the original studies. But check it out. It's really interesting. I haven't read it closely enough to be able to speak about it particularly eloquently, but I thought I would throw this out there, so if anybody's having trouble with stalls, then they can look to this article, and maybe it'll give you some guidance, or at least some information, make you feel a little better. You are also not a damaged snowflake. Bye.